Crew TV.
Come on, C-Dubs. Come on, Scooter Mike. Nothing was plugged in. We plugged in. We should be good.
From a wide body kit to a custom hood scoop and a custom made tensioner to the first install of a T4 manifold on the VR6. Stay tuned and let's go.
All right, YouTube, welcome back. I'm all about doing things custom and making things how you want it, but sometimes you run into problems. And there's gonna be a video to show you what problems I'm running into and how I'm gonna go around to fix it and make this happen so we can get this started. Let's get it. So now we're getting into the wide body part of it. I had to cut this fender up just to make it a little bit wider because it didn't match the other side that I did when I laid it by hand. So yeah, this is essentially just trimming out where I think I'm gonna need it so I can space it out more and add fiberglass to put it all together. Not gonna lie, chat, I was worried right here. I didn't want to have to cut it all the way off, but I realized I have to. So here we go. Now I could kind of play with it and place it exactly where I want. And this is my first time doing this, so you're learning with me, YouTube. At first I was trying to use duct tape to hold it together so I could fiberglass it, but this is what I came up with. I took a squeegee for the Bondo and just cut it up and kind of screwed it into where I needed it, and I held it in place. Looking pretty good, I think. Now we're moving on to the fiberglass part because we have it where we want it. So I'm just laying fiberglass on the inside. This is a tedious thing. For me, it's like doing laundry. I kind of enjoy this kind of stuff. All right, so YouTube, I'm running into a little problem. As you see the wide body fender there, all good. Last night, I had to cut up this fender and basically make it a little bit wider to fit the wheels, right? So I did that, and I put down fiberglass and resin. I guess the resin expired. So when I used it, nothing hardened. So now I have this wet blob of resin all over the place that's not going to harden. So I bought hardener. I think I'm just going to squirt it all over it, brush it in, let this cure, and then redo everything from the jump. So let's get into that. Here we go again, my happy place. Laying down fiberglass. Getting it all over my hands. Always make sure you wear the right safety stuff. I've got so much stuff in my eyes and had to go to the hospital, and over the years of working on this car, make sure you're wearing goggles, and you could hear I have my respirator on. You do not want to breathe this stuff in, especially when you're sanding. There it goes. I think it looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Alright, so let's let this cure up. And now I'm moving on to the hood. And I'm just sanding all the rough spots. And I'm prepping, getting ready to really lock in with the hood scoop. I ordered a carbon fiber one and kind of just connected it to the car, but it was very flimsy. And I noticed like the Bondo, the fiberglass was kind of thin and was cracking in certain spots. So I just want to sand it right now and get ready. Also have to do a little bit more prep. This is underneath the hood. Reason I had to cut that piece out, you see me sanding, is because the manifold's a lot higher, so I just cut that out and the hood closed perfect. Okay, now this is very important when working with fiberglass, Bondo, whatever you're using. When you want something to connect, just carve out huge gashes in it. And I'm gonna explain why in a little bit. But make sure you put huge gashes all around where you want these things to connect. So that's exactly how I want it to look. And I think I'm ready to start putting some Bondo glass. Oh my gosh, I'm in heaven right now. Mixing Bondo, the fumes, just the vibe I get from Bondo. It's Bondo boys for life, you heard? Mixy, mixy, mixy. Now we're laying it down, and this is why I put those huge gashes in there. You want to push all the fiberglass, whether you're using resin, fiberglass, Bondo glass, regular Bondo. You want to push them all deep into the grooves, and this is going to make a very strong contact point. So just get as much as you can, glob it in there, make sure it's seeping through all those gashes you just cut in. Alright, so after it dried, now I'm coming back with the Dremel, and this is my first time using a Dremel, so I didn't know how it was going to come out. But just follow the process. I think I did pretty good. It's starting to take shape, and that's what you want. Little Dremel here, little Dremel there. By the way, you can pick up Dremels at AutoZone or Advanced, Home Depot. They're only like 40 bucks. So after the Dremel, now I'm getting into the sanding. And just do this by hand. Try and get the best shape you can before you start putting down more Bondo or Bondo glass to get the final shape you want.
Put it in the sun, huh?
Just talking to my mother duckling. Shout out to my daughter, she's inside as well. Sand, 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 sand. I wonder how many times I sanded this car. Wonder how many strokes I give in this car. Alright, so now I'm starting to get happy. Now we can start building the actual shape we want. So this was a new one for me. I was figuring out how to get a perfectly straight line for up top, and I realized I'm just gonna take a ruler, tape it down, and put Bondo glass over that. I look like a scientist here, don't I? A scientist in poverty, I guess. And also YouTube, I'm learning with you guys. I've never done this before in my life. I'm just going for it. So now I'm just globbing the Bondo over the contact point of the ruler and the hood scoop to get a perfectly straight line. And I didn't get to film it, but after I did this and I did all the sanding on the roof scoop, I added another layer of fiberglass so that it wouldn't crack. Now that the fender that I just fiberglassed has dried with the right activator, it wasn't expired. Now I'm just taking out the spacers that I made. Last spacer coming out. Alright, so I'm getting very excited. So, as you know, maybe you don't know, but I did these two fenders, right? Everything's handmade, so you don't know what's going to happen. Whatever, laid everything down, fiberglassed it, bondoed it, and it came out really good. Both of them came out pretty good. But when I put them on the car, this one was as if it was way too short, so it was hitting the tire, right? So I cut it up, I spaced it out, I fiberglassed it, and it's literally perfect now. Like, I'm very excited. It matches identical to the other side. So right now I'm just gonna sand this down, put some fiberglass filler on it, and hope everything works out, which it should. Alright, so now that we have that where we want, now we're gonna go over with Bondo glass and just kind of glob it on and get it to where we want. Excuse my butt crack, I was once a plumber so I could have one out. Alright, so we're globbed on. We're going to let this dry for a little bit. Usually takes about 30-40 minutes. And that's how it looks. Okay, now we're moving back to the hood scoop after we sanded down all the Bondo glass and got that straight line. And I'm just globbing on a bunch of Bondo. Once again, shout out to the Bondo boys, we out here, you heard? Just try and get it as smooth as you can. Get out all the air bubbles, press down, and just start making things smooth. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's glob this in here, let that dry. And this is the fender. I did some sanding, and this is the same night actually. So now I'm going to the rear quarter panel. You know, I was a little upset, had no studio session, so I figured let's just sand this thing and get it going. Well. So, as far as this project so far that I'm working on, this is a manifold off of a Eurovan. And it's never been installed on a 12 valve VR6 in an MK4 ever, in the history of forever. All you little Facebook little typers, oh, check VW Vortex, this happened 20 years ago. The only stuff on VW Vortex, the guy never completed and never finished because what I'm about to show you. But I figured it out. I'm gonna show you how. So this is a bigger manifold, and the fuel line is running through the manifold. So there is no fuel line that you can see. The fuel lines hook right up to this actually. And with that being said, it's wider around where the AC sits below it and where the tensioner sits on the side. So I had to chop up an alternator and get it custom welded to fit. I also had to chop this manifold up and get it custom welded to fit. Those are already completed. Those were very scary. Didn't know if it was gonna work. Ended up working perfect. Now my problem is that the tensioner is hitting this, right? And reason being is that, well, there's a few problems. Let me show you. All right, so here's the original tensioner that comes on the car, right? Look, it's supposed to be bolting against here, and look how much space is there, because it's hitting the new manifold. So I originally ordered the tensioner for the T4 Eurovan, and that came in, and it was just enough space, but the tensioner pulley is so far off, and there's no way to make, I'd have to literally chop it up and weld it, and I don't want to do that because it's a tensioner. It's always going to have tension and moving. I want it to be strong. So I returned that. That was like 180 bucks or something like that, and I just bought a couple OEM ones. But as I was working on Paul's R32 I noticed that his tensioner pulley is on the opposite side, and that's exactly what I needed. So OEM R32, right? So boom, now we're in a good standing. Now at least it's on the right side, right? So we have to fill this space right here, so that's sitting away. And then all I did to make this work, because once we pull it away, think about it, the tensioner is going to be further away. So I got a bigger bolt, I got an extra bearing, and I'm going to show you what I did to make all this happen. So this is the solution with the spacer I came up with. I went around a bunch of ideas, but this just came out the easiest. Stainless steel, no problem. So I'm going to put these as the space, and these are the nuts that hold it on. So I'll show you what it looks like. So essentially this is what I came up with. This is the space, and it's mounted good, very strong. Now the pulley is not even close to where it's supposed to be, right? So I'm going to show you how I made that longer and extended that and got everything to fit where it should be. All right, so this is the conclusion. This is the R32 one with nothing on it. So I already did my measurements to find out how far I have to get over to make the belt line up. What I'm gonna do is I took this out of I bought another OEM one. Just gonna place the bearing there. I'm gonna place this on top of it. Simple as that. Right? Now this is the secret sauce. This fits, I don't know how, but this fits literally perfect, flush in here. Literally perfect, like a glove. So when this bearing's there and this is there, this has nothing to sit on, you know what I mean? Let me show you what I mean. So as you can see, there's nothing there, but look what happens when we put this in there. Boop. Perfect, like a glove. So I'm gonna have to trim this to there and just drill this out so that this nut will fit through that. So let's get over to that and see what happens. All right, next is I'm gonna keep grinding down this socket I'm using to try and get it to fit both bearings. See what happens. A lot of easier ways to do this, but I like problems. Alright, I'm pretty happy with this, can't front. So boom, here's the wheel. Little spacer we just made. We got the other bearing, so this fits in there. So that should be good. Alright. Up to the Lord. Let's hope this works. It looks really good, so that's all it is. Just an extra bearing on that side. Everything's all bolted back together. Let's try and install this. Make sure it fits. Alright, I don't know about you, but I'm happy about myself and the work we got done today. Tensioner's on. I just kind of mounted up the manifold, and putting this on was a lot of work. Is it worth it? I don't know. I don't really care. I'm just doing it because like getting the custom bolts to fit, because these are huge. It's a big scene, but I'm happy. I feel good. I can't wait to start it. I'm gonna start it this week, probably tomorrow. So let's get it. Now I'm going back to the manifold. Painted it, took everything apart, and now I'm just installing the injectors. And these are OEM injectors. I don't know why they're so much money. These are like $180 each, and I needed 6 of them, so that kind of stinks, but it is what it is. So I'm just connecting everything to the manifold. And here we are, you can see it. I painted it the texture black. Just cleaning everything up, cleaning everything out. Got all the injectors in. Pushing this thing in took a little bit of force. Not really force, but time, just wedging it back and forth. Got my gaskets in there, everything's going together. I guess not. Alright, so after I got all that installed, now I'm working on the alternator. And the alternator I had to chop up and weld and do all sorts of crazy stuff to. And this was like a OEM $600 alternator I decided to chop up. But it ended up working. So as you can see, that's where I got it chopped and welded and ground down a lot, just so I could fit the manifold. Now let's get this manifold installed. Manifold's on. I'm just installing the throttle body. Alright, YouTube. Very excited. Got the Euro manifold welded, installed, everything rearranged, all the wiring set up. I'm literally about 5 minutes away from starting the Jetta for the first time with this manifold. And I'm super excited. It's probably been like a year, not a year, probably like half a year sitting here as I was figuring out the manifold and getting it welded. Let me show you what we got going on. Alright, so here's the manifold, the Euro manifold. And whatever, I'm the first one to ever really fully do this. Only thing I didn't finish yet is the tensioner, so I'm just going to try and start it without the accessory belt and put it in the driveway and get it off the yard. But yeah, all I have to figure out right now is running the fuel lines, which are right here, and one goes here. I was actually wrong, they don't go there at all. There. But I figured that out down the road. Air line running from here to the manifold back there. So yeah, I'm very excited. Let's get this Jetta started. Well, let's hope it starts. You know what I mean? I hope it starts. It will start. I'm confident. Let's get it.
Ready? Come on, C-Dubs. Come on, Scooter Mike. Nothing was plugged in. We plugged in. We should be good. It started!
Shout outs to my daughter holding the camera. And if you guys talk about lifter tick, let's not even get into it, you Facebook warriors. That's just the exhaust not connected.